Good morning, everyone. I wanted to just touch base and talk about entrepreneurship today. I'm always curious why people want to be entrepreneurs. And, you know, the more I ask, the more I learn that people each have such different reasons. Just here, we're meeting entrepreneurs. We go on some tours, and we went on this amazing waterfall canyoning. Well, it wasn't canyoning, waterfall rappelling. And it was this young entrepreneur, and he was probably one of the most impressive entrepreneurs I've met in a long time. Like, his attention to detail, there's Tico time here. People just kind of do what they want with time. He was 10 minutes early. He was polite. He was so sweet. His car was nice. He made us feel so special. He made us feel like we were the most important people for him. And I read the reviews after, and he has only 5 out of 5s, and everyone says the same thing. He makes, well, not him, but his company, but he created that company. He's so inspiring to me. Like, we were talking with him, I was practicing my Spanish, and he was explaining, he's like, I was really bad at school. I always left, like, he didn't graduate high school. He left early. He would go and venture off and discover nature because he wanted to be in nature, and he was following his passions. And he discovered these amazing waterfalls, like crazy beautiful, like the most beautiful waterfalls in the jungle. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna create, and he loves adventure, and he had his brother and his friends, and they got all of the necessary requirements and licenses to build their tour company. They worked with the best engineers. They wanted it to be like so safe. They didn't want any ropes to even touch any rocks. A lot of, I guess, other companies, they'll change their ropes out more, but he wanted to make sure like everything was so safe and so amazing and a different experience for the tourists. And it was like, I've traveled a lot, and I go on tours, and it's often like big groups and get as many people through as possible. And with him, it was like me and my boyfriend and another woman, and it was just us 3, and it was this like a private tour in the forest. I can't say forest, in the jungle. And then after we had, it's like, okay, lunch included. A lot of tours, lunch included. And on my travels, it's a box lunch. Here we went to an amazing restaurant. There were toucans in the trees. She was a photographer, so she was taking all these pictures of the birds. We had this huge local casado dish, like local breakfast. And then he's like, oh, do you guys want some coffee? So it wasn't like just brewed coffee. No, it was like local, like how they make the coffee. No hurry. No one was in a hurry. Everyone, like, they already started working. They already did a tour at 7 a.m. Now we were the 10 o'clock tour. No hurry at all. Wow, it was nice. Those entrepreneurs really impressed me. And on the way back, we asked, like, because for kind of the year when the world was closed and shut down and there wasn't tourism in Costa Rica, we're like, how did you survive? And he's like, well, I went house to house and I cut grass. And just thinking about him makes me emotional, actually, for the first time, because he's like, that's entrepreneurship. You do whatever it takes for your company to work. And I really hope they're successful. I really was so impressed by them. And I wrote a review, entrepreneur to entrepreneur. We know how essential it is to have good reviews. Like, there's so much competition, and I'm sure the other companies are amazing too, but people choose them because they have 5 out of 5 stars. And And even for my company, there's people who will choose my company because I may have 1 or 2 more 5 out of 5 stars than a competitor. And it's like, entrepreneurs, I think, understand that more, the importance of what a nice review is. For me, this is another story, but I wrote a book this year on my journey of being an entrepreneur. It's called Intuitive Business Connections. That's why I based this channel for my book, because my book talks about all of my lessons learned in the last decade of being an entrepreneur, and about life and all of my favorite topics. I love spirituality and I love entrepreneurship. And so I wanted to put both of them together into that book. And I literally channeled that book in 2 months, and it was just effortless and flawless. And anyways, going back to the subject is, there's reviews. People won't buy a book if there isn't a review, or a good review. And I even wrote that in my book. Like, I don't think you understand how important it is, one, for an author to have a good review. And there's some sites that I can't publish any book promotions because I may not have enough book reviews. Anyways, I wasn't even planning on talking about that this morning, but that's what just kind of I'm inspired to talk about, because this company, they say, please write a nice review. This is how we keep going. And they work so hard. I was so blown away by this company. It's rare I'm blown away by this level of customer service. They've inspired me to level up for my own company, because we just felt so important and so special. Anyways, as we're coming home, we asked him lots of questions, but the other question we asked him, I love roosters. The other question we asked him was, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? And he said, I want time. And I can relate to him, because that's what I want. Every entrepreneur literally has a different answer to that. And I was actually speaking, this is another fun story. This week I joined a online community of other language learning schools around the world. We come together once a month and we talk about what's going on in our life. And it's raw, authentic, these are the challenges, this is what I need work on, this is what I need support with. And we're supposed to be competitors because we all have online language schools, or not even online. Well, everything's online. We all have online language schools, but we're not. We're there to support one another, encourage, uplift. So precious to me. I don't believe in competition. We spoke a lot about competition, kind of and more on collaboration. I think that's reality. That's my reality. That's how other language schools are the big rooster. I love him. The other local language schools are the companies that give me the biggest contracts. And I'm so grateful to them. So I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. So we were talking, and I was kind of, this one woman who founded it. She's young, vibrant, super. She loves projects. She's impressive. She impresses me, and she's been with her company for 20 years, and she has so much passion, and I've been with mine for 10, and I'm just like, I'm trying to work less. And she's working 10-hour days, and she loves projects, and she has big goals. And I was kind of feeling bad about myself, I don't want that. I don't want that. I could have that, but I don't want that. I want to live a really relaxed life right now, slow down, live free with a few bags, let's say that. It's the idea of backpacking, live with a few bags and simplify and be free and have time. Like this other entrepreneur I met this week, And they said, they would really supported me, like, yes, JD, you know, we all have different goals. And as an entrepreneur, it's important to know, like, what business lifestyle do you want? And I love that term. What business lifestyle? This other woman in the group, she was offered with a really prestigious university, like full-time contract work. And it's very comfortable. It would be a very comfortable position. And she's like, that is not me. I cannot do it. And she declined. And most people don't decline something like that. And she's like, I want to be on this bumpy road of entrepreneurship. And I just love that. Yeah, it's a bumpy road. And it can be fun. And it's free. And you're able to create the lifestyle you want. This other woman who's been in business for 20 years, I was like, how do you have this passion? Like after 20 years, like it's like a new company for her. She's like, because I'm always working on new projects. So it's like, yeah, it's 20 years with the same company, but it's like, okay, this year I'm doing this, and this year I'm expanding to another country, and this year I'm creating a new program. She keeps it fresh and alive. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, yeah, because I like variety and I like newness. And it's like, how have I had a job? Like it's the same company for a decade. But yeah, every year I keep it live and fresh. And, you know, in 2020, we moved it to be 100% online. I no longer teach. It's very rare that I teach. Maybe some old previous clients I want to connect with. So I accept some classes, but it's very rare. And now I've changed to be more of management role. And now I want to start to, now being in Costa Rica, I'm not in management role. I'm more in business owner. Like it can run itself. I don't need to be there. Well, I really don't need to be there. I'm outside sitting on the grass, drinking coffee, and it can run without me. So there's always stages, and every stage is like a new job. It's new techniques to learn and a new reality. I'm sure I could talk about this all day. I love entrepreneurship, but I'm just curious, like, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you not want to be an entrepreneur? I want to do some videos with my sister. I have a twin sister, and she is the opposite of me. I love waking up early in the mornings. She likes sleeping. I like being an entrepreneur. She likes the stability of a very, senior level position. I'm a little risk averse. I could grow my company more, but I'm very like, okay, just slow and steady. Year after year I grow. And she'll do like big risks she started a company all in, and she's a little bit more risky in some things than I am, and we're so different. And I should kind of like speak with her one day of like, why does she not want to be an entrepreneur? That'd be fun to talk about, because for me it's like the most magical thing in the world. Entrepreneurship, and for her is like the worst thing in the world. And she started 2 companies herself. Very impressive. I talk to my other entrepreneurial friends. I talk about her a lot, and they're like, wow, she's impressive. You know, she gets, one night she was nominated for this like award in her city, like a big award for the entire city for her new company. And she's like, I'm not going to that. That's a waste of time. Like, as entrepreneurs, we want the visibility. We want to be there. We want to network. And she's like, no, I have other things to do. So we're just so different. And it'd be fun to talk with her live with you guys, because it's not for everyone. I talk about it like it's the most magical thing in the world. But it was years of anxiety and stress to get to be able to create this reality now. But that's my journey. Some people, in the first year, they're successful, but that was, for me, it was a very slow process. And I think that's another quality you need being an entrepreneur is patience. Things I want to happen super fast, and it doesn't always happen as fast as I want. It's patience, slowly growing every year. Receiving every client is so important. Getting those good reviews. It's a process. It's a slow process. But anyways, I was just super excited to meet just an amazing entrepreneur this week, to speak to other business owners who own language schools, and to have validation of, yeah, it's okay, I want time, because I can never get time back. Yeah, he said it. You can never get time back. You can always make more money. And especially online now, I think you can make more money. You can make more money easier now than ever. I perceive the world like we're global citizens. We're all connected online. Global citizens, I know. He agrees with me. I love him. And so, yeah, it's okay. I don't need to work 8 hours a day. It's okay. I'm trying to, I love that. I don't need to work 8 hours a day. Thank you. And I'm trying to change the habit patterns of my mind, because it's society also saying, like, you need to work this much. You need to work with this much. And going, no, no, I don't. I can run a company without working 8 hours, and it can still grow without me, because all I want is time. So I'm curious what you guys want as entrepreneurs. Again, we love reviews. That is the difference between a successful company or not. We love if you share, talk, comment on these videos. And I'm really curious, why do you want to be an entrepreneur, or why don't you want to be an entrepreneur? See you next time.